Since I tried to shoot my shot and then like nothing happened, I was like, okay, this like dude's like not interested. Now that we're like hashing out all the details of our love story, is so weird. Yeah. Like he wasn't really talking to me and he was like all mopey. Yo.
What's up?
Welcome back
to the Friel family.
I'm Kaitlyn.
I'm Kala.
And we're gonna film a video today and we'll tell you all about it. But before we do that, I literally just tried this new drink. My friend Avery posted about it. You take one of these and one of these, whoops, and then you put pebble ice and you stir it up. Well, yeah, two of these, one packet over pebble ice. It's so good. It's lime flavor. So lime and strawberry, you can just imagine. Yeah, so anyways, we got our fun drink. 0 calories. Just kidding. 10 calories, because the packet's 10 calories. Love it. Okay, that's what we had to tell you about our drink. So today we're filming our story. So some of you have commented that you guys want to hear more about it. We briefly brushed over a little bit about how we met and everything, I think in our very first video.
Yeah, real short.
This is a 3-part series and this is part 1. We both have like the worst memories, so I have it written out.
She'll probably remember more than I do.
I know, I tried to ask him some questions like, when was the first time you remember seeing me? He's like, I can't remember. So part 1 will be like when we met and started dating. I'll go first because I remember the first time I saw you. So it was before my brother Justin got married, and it was called a YSA ward, and it's Young Single Adult Ward. And so it just means like single adults from like 18 to 30 go to this ward. And I remember going to my brother's ward and I remember seeing Kala there, and they must have been in the same ward. I think my brother was getting married and you like had moved in.
Yeah, I probably would have just moved in.
Yeah, I don't think you were there very long. But yeah, so my brother was just about to get married and I went to his ward for some reason. And I saw Kala and I was like, dang, that guy is cute. That's the first time I remember seeing Kala. It had to be in like February because my brother got married in March.
Yeah, it probably would have been, January, February.
Yeah, so I think it was either January or February when I like first...
Oh, probably February, because when I got home from my mission in December, then I came up to Utah to live, and then in January I moved in with one of my teammates, and then I just wasn't really liking it, so I moved out and moved in with someone else.
Yeah.
With someone from my mission in probably like February or early February or something. Yeah,
so that's when I first saw him. And then you said that you first saw me, or like remember like seeing me for the first time, is when I came up and talked to you.
Yeah, the first time I remember seeing Kaitlyn was when she came up and asked me about some football stuff. So I was playing football to you, and Kaitlyn was in school and she was doing a project for entrepreneurship class or something. And so I just remember she came up and she said she was asking me about like the equipment or the cleats at the U, and I really didn't know the answer, and I just said I don't know
and walked away.
I'm not a very social person, as you can tell.
Okay, so I first saw Kala when I was visiting my brother and went to his church. Then my other brother, so all my brothers were roommates and they were like slowly getting married, like one after another. So my older brothers were roommates, one got married, and then 2 of my brothers and a friend, they were all still roommates. And then my second brother was getting married, and so my youngest older brother needed a roommate, and so did I. So me and my brother moved into an apartment together, and it was actually in near where you were living. He like lived on the corner, and then I lived in like the apartments behind him.
No, same complex, right? Same apartment complex.
But he lived in like in a duplex, and I lived in an apartment. So that's like another big thing. They're drinking water. The boys are drinking water.
They know when we film.
If you're new here, our dogs always drink water when we're filming YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But back to our story. Me and my brother move in, and
he ends up getting married pretty quickly after that, right?
Yeah, so me and my brother move in together, and then he is getting married fairly quick after that. And then I have another roommate, which is a close friend of mine. So when I move into the apartment complex, the ward boundaries of like the church that we go to, now we're in like the same ward. So when we go to church on Sundays,
we're going to church together.
We go to the same church together. So I see Kalai at church, and I'm like, heck yeah. So we're not friends at this point, or know each other, or hang out or anything. We just go to the same church because now like we live by each other and we go to the same ward. But while I was in that ward, I met some friends and I became friends with his roommates. And so they'd like invite me over if they're like doing something fun. Like they had a ping pong table. So
ping pong table and a TV.
Ping pong table and a flat screen TV. And there were also like church activities, like
little get-togethers throughout the week.
Yeah,
just
like,
to like meet other people and mingle. And
yeah, they were mostly kind of fun, like just get people meeting each other. And so like we would see each other at that and everything. But I wouldn't say we started dating or like hanging out until like it
would be summertime probably.
No, we started hanging out in the spring, and then we started dating in the summer.
Yeah,
because we were like hanging out as friends for quite a while.
So what happened was Kaitlyn messaged me on Facebook or something.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you home? Like, let's try. Like, let's play
some ping pong."
Yeah, and he was like, "I'm not."
And I'm just oblivious, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm not," but just knock on the door and see if any of my roommates are, and they'll probably play with you.
Anyways, that was I was shooting my shot. Since I tried to shoot my shot and then like nothing happened, I was like, okay, this like dude's like not interested or whatever.
No, but I think we actually played though, right? Didn't I actually come home and play, and it was awkward conversation?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Okay, so he did come home and he was like, I don't know how it happened. He must have let me know that he came home, and we played ping pong, and this was like our first like time hanging out, just like the two of us.
I think you got a bad memory because I think I remember this. So I was out doing some errands with my roommate or something, and then Kaitlyn sent me a message on Facebook back when Facebook was a thing, and she's like, "Hey, are you home to play ping pong or something?" And I was like, "Oh no, but just knock on the door and I'm sure someone's home and you can play with them, you know?" And then I think she said, she like messaged me back and she's like, "Oh, no one's home." And then I think she said, "Here's my number, like text me when you're home," or something.
Yeah, I did give you my number that way.
And so then I got done with my errands, came home, and I texted her and I'm like, "Oh, like I'm home, like if you want to play ping pong."
Yeah, you're right.
See, I'm a good memory person.
I'm not.
So then from what I remember is I texted her, she came over because she literally lived like
around the corner,
4-minute walk at most from my apartment, and she came over and we played some ping pong, and it was super awkward because number one, I'm not like a talkative person.
Nope.
And number two, like I'm not super great at meeting new people. Like when I meet new people, I tend to just like be quiet just because I don't know people. Like if I am hanging out with friends and stuff, like I'll talk to them and I'll have things to say, you know. But like if I don't know people, I'll just be like kind of quiet. I don't know. And I think naturally I just answer questions really quickly. Like yes, no, like if you ask me a yes or no question, you're going to get a yes or a no. And so when we were playing ping pong, I think, you know, a lot of it was like get to know you questions, and I was just like yes or no, and I wouldn't ask them back because, you know, not a lot of social skills. So I think it was pretty awkward.
We were playing ping pong. I'd be like, "How many brothers and sisters do you have?" He'd be like, 3. And I'd be like, "How many girls? How many guys?" Like 1 brother, 2 sisters.
I'm a very literal person, so anyway, when you ask me a question, I'll give you a direct answer.
So, like, that's how it went, and then I, like, went home after, and I was like, okay, that did not go good, that was not, he, like, didn't really want to get to know me, like, I should just, like, move on, or, like, because I thought he was cute, so I was like, I was just trying to hang out with him. So, that's how that went, and then we didn't really talk after that.
I don't like go out of my way to have conversations with people. So that was probably me trying, you know, like and
like dating was like kind of like nerve-wracking, like especially when you don't really know the person. And
I've never really dated anybody, so like I have like I've had like a couple of friends who were girls in high school, but not like I was chasing after anybody and like trying to impress anybody. It's just they were friends with my friends, and so like we became friends, you know?
That's how that went, and we kind of just like didn't really do much. But I worked.
Zero game.
Yes. So I worked at the Boys and Girls Club after I went to school. So I went to school in the mornings, and then went to work at the Boys and Girls Club, which is an after school program for kids. And a lot of the kids like didn't have phones or anything, and so I can't be on my phone when I'm at like the Boys and Girls Club working, because I obviously like am watching over people's kids, need eyes on everybody. But some of the kids there like to play games on my phone, and they'd like to like text my mom and like, or like friends or whatever, and I was like, you can text my mom, or you can text like my roommate, or you can text like girls, just like ask me before you message them. And so I'm working one day, and like these two girls, Becca and Yazzie, were like giggling, and I was like, what is going on? And they're like, we messaged Kayla, and I was like, who the heck is Kayla? Because you spell Kala, Kala, but there's a line over the last A, but like my phone, I did not have a smartphone, so there's probably no line. So it looked like Kayla, and I was like, Kayla, and I looked at my phone, and they had texted Kala. And they're like, hi, just saying these messages, and Claude's like, hi, question mark. Didn't really know what's going on. And then
I was getting a ton of text messages from her, and I knew it wasn't her because like the spelling was really bad.
And instead of like haha, it was like ja 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 ja.
Yeah. And like I knew it wasn't her, but I was like, oh, this is weird. I don't know what's going on, you know? But I just like kind of went with it. I don't know why even.
I think you probably stopped texting after a little while. But so I got my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is not Kayla. This is a guy named Kala. And they're like, are you cute? Yeah. Like, so once they found out it was a guy, they were like, are you cute? Or like, how old are you? Or things like that. And I took my phone back, and I was like, I'm so sorry. That's kids from my work. I let them play games on my phone, like, and I let them text people, but I did not give them permission or whatever. And so that is how we phased Kala back into my life.
I think she was planning it. Nah, I'm kidding.
So I get home from work, and I feel like that's kind of when I like catch him up to speed. I think at work I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like a kid had my phone. And then when I got home from work, I probably like, okay, sorry, I work at the Boys and Girls Club, I let them play games on my phone, yada yada yada. So then he was like, oh my gosh, those kids are so funny. Kala was like, I want to, like, can people do service at the Boys and Girls Club? I mean, like, can I come and like meet like these funny kids? And I was like, sure. And I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy.
That kind of really was like the moment that kind of like brought us back together, huh?
Yeah, that's why Becca is so important in our love story. Kala comes and volunteers at the Boys and Girls Club, and every little kid falls in love with Kala because he's a football player, and all the girls think he's cute. And he'd play like dodgeball and kickball and football and stuff and basketball with all the boys and kids. And they just started really liking him. And so he came once, and they kept bugging like, when is he coming back? When's he coming back? So Kala started coming and volunteering at my work after his football practice on like certain days.
Now that I think about it, it's kind of weird, but it was good. I mean,
yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I don't know why I was like, yeah, I should probably meet these kids.
Yeah.
But
probably because you wanted to come to my work.
Probably.
I would want to like know the kids who like messaged me that were funny, you know, like
yeah.
If that happened to me, like I'd be like, oh my gosh, like let me come meet them. If it was like my job, like the Boys and Girls Club, not like random kids.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, I would go after football and after class and like go play kickball.
He wouldn't even
football.
like hang out with me. He would like come and volunteer and like go hang out with all the boys, or like even on the teen side with like the teens
and play basketball, stuff like that. And it was just a lot of fun, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. After he started volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club, we started hanging out like after work. So
yeah, we started like texting and stuff because I was coming and like, hey, are you coming? And things like that. And so we just started having like small conversations.
And then like one time I was like, oh, what are you doing after? And he was like, oh, nothing. And then we started playing So then we'd go home because we like sort of lived near each other. And then there was an elementary school across the street with like a blacktop basketball court. And it was like starting to get nice outside. It was like spring.
Yeah.
Because kids are still in school. And so then we'd go play basketball. And like we'd get burritos at Beto's and stuff. And so then we started like hanging out. And then when it got dark, then we'd like go to his house and like watch. Like I feel like we listened to music a lot.
Yeah, we'd listen to music or
Just
watch
hang
a
out.
movie.
Yeah.
We even watched like the basketball finals. The
Oh,
NBA
that's what I was
basketball
going. Yeah, that's what we used to watch. And then after that, I would just go home. So like we were literally just hanging out. Like we weren't like this on the couch. Like we were just like friends.
Yeah, but we did play like a lot of basketball. Like,
yeah, every night, every
night.
night.
Like we would just be like shooting around and talking and like.
Yeah. I can't remember what we talked about, but yeah, it was like so fun.
Yeah, I don't remember really what we talked about either, but we'd have a lot of fun. I remember Kaitlyn would talk a lot of trash though.
Well, that's pretty good.
She's pretty good.
Well, I'm probably trash now, but I would beat him sometimes.
I'd let her win, gentleman.
Now that we're like hashing out all the details, our love story is so weird.
Yeah.
So I would count this as like our first date was like during the NBA finals, and we went to Chili's and we got like cheese fries and watched the game, and that was like our first date.
I actually really remember that. So I think my roommate was like, hey, you should ask her out on a date and like take her to dinner or something.
Yeah, and so that was our first date.
And so we would watch the NBA playoffs together, like me and her and sometimes my roommates and stuff.
It was Miami Heat versus the Lakers?
Thunder, probably.
Thunder, yeah, because I was a big Thunder fan.
And so I was like, okay. So I asked her out and I was like, hey, do you want to go to dinner? And I didn't really like have any plan because that's how I run my life.
It's a new day. We had family dinner yesterday, and when we were talking about our Chili's date, they knocked on the door and the dogs started barking. So we're finishing up our story part 1. We were telling you guys about our first date at Chili's and how we were there watching the NBA finals. So that's how that was our first date, is Chili's. We still just kept playing basketball on the blacktop across the road from where we lived.
Hanging out, basically.
Yeah, we didn't like do a whole bunch. Now that I think about it, like I started going to... Oh, well, you asked me to be your girlfriend after your brother's wedding.
Yeah, well, you were going...
I was going on a trip for a wedding in San Diego, and it was the day before I left. It was that night, and you were like, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, yeah. And then you left, and then I went on a trip for a week.
Yep.
Or something like that. I don't know if it was a week, but then when we got back, then we just like started hanging out again. But like, it's so hard to like remember because he was a college athlete, went to school full time. I had a part-time job and went to school full-time. I can't really remember like all what we did.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was a long time ago too. This would have been like 10 years ago.
And we were like so casual when we were dating. Like we weren't like even super serious as like time went on.
I was serious.
Oh my. So Kal asked me to be his girlfriend in the summer, like in end of June, early July. And then school was starting back up. I mean, he did summer school, but school was starting back up. And then I started going to his football games, which was super fun. Free tickets. So I'd go to your football games.
Yeah. I mean, we'd hang out every day, basically.
Yeah. Just like working in school and whatnot. I'm sure there were days that we didn't. But yeah, we hung out almost every day. But like, since it didn't seem super serious to me, like we were literally just hanging out. Like we were boyfriend and girlfriend hanging out. And so then the church that we go to lowered the age for girls to serve missions. It was 20 or 21?
21.
It was 21, and they lowered it to 19. And I was 19 at the time. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go serve a mission.
Yeah, she said that, and it was kind of, I don't know, I thought things were more serious than she did, because I thought we were dating, and like, hanging out every day, We'd go to dinner all the time.
No, we got burritos.
Cafe Rio.
Did we?
Yeah, all the time.
No, when we got married, we never went to Cafe Rio before we got married.
I don't know.
I feel like Cafe Rio was like a thing when we got married. That's when I like found Cafe Rio.
I don't know. I feel like we always like hung out.
Yeah, we just hung out. Like we were just hanging out. So I was just like, oh, like I'm gonna go on a mission. Maybe he'll wait for me, and we'll see where things pick up when I come back.
And I was already committed to this relationship, and I was like, "What?" Kaitlyn, she said she said she wanted to go on a mission. I was like, what?" I thought this was going elsewhere.
You did, like you didn't say anything.
But I felt it.
So I started filling out like my mission papers and like going and having like meetings with like church leaders to like get it all figured out. And so when I told Kalal like, hey, I'm gonna go on a mission, like things got weird for like a week, maybe longer, I can't remember, but like he wasn't really talking to me and he was like all mopey all the time.
I don't know about mopey, but I definitely wasn't talking. Because I mean, now I think I don't know how I felt then, but I was like, man, I guess this isn't going where I thought it was going. Like, I thought we were dating, you know? But apparently...
It was so casual.
Apparently not.
No, it was super casual. We were just like dating. I didn't really like, both of us aren't really big on being like, this is how I feel. Like, and I'm not very lovey-dovey, and neither is he. Like, I'm not really big on PDA or anything. So I'm sure it was like hard to figure out like how we felt and like, so I just thought it was like casual, whatever. And I was like, oh, I really want to go on a mission. Like, I always thought I would. So I was planning on going on a mission. I didn't really like how things were between me and Kalal, like when I would talk about going on a mission, and like how like he was kind of like just like distancing himself when I like wanted him to like wait for me and write me, and like, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought I always wanted to go, and so when they lowered the age, I was like, oh, this is like a sign, like I'm supposed to go. But I started feeling like really like I didn't know what to do. Like, should I go on a mission or should I stay home and like see where things go with Kala? And like, I just like didn't know how to make that decision because both of them are like pretty big deals. Like going on a mission is a pretty big deal, and like figuring out where something's going with someone is a pretty big deal. And I'm like 19, so I'm just like trying to figure out my life, and it's just, you know how it goes. And then he wasn't gonna wait for me, and I wasn't sure I wanted things to end with him. So I went and talked to my mom.
Well, I guess I was like, oh, if she wants to go on a mission, that means she doesn't like me that much. So I was like, I don't think I'm gonna wait for you if you're choosing to leave me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was like, if she's rather go on a mission, then that probably means she doesn't like me that much, you know? So I was like, why would I wait for you if you're choosing to leave me, you know?
Yeah. So we were dating for about like 6 months or maybe a little longer. And I was talking to my mom and I was like, I don't know what to do. And my mom said, you should pray about Kala. And if you don't feel right about that, then go on a mission. So, cause she's like, cause you're dating Kala right now, like just see where it goes. And like, if you pray about him and it doesn't feel good, you don't have like good feelings or like impressions about him, then go on a mission. So I did what my mom said, and I prayed about Kala to see if I should, you know, keep dating him and see where it goes. And I got really like exciting feeling. I can't like describe it. It's so weird. Sorry. We pray about really big things in our life. We've prayed about if we should sell our home, or if this is like when we're buying a home, if like we pray about like if we should, you know, put an offer down, or like if this is a home that we should move into. We try and just like, you know, feel if those things are like good, if we get good feelings about it, or if we don't. So anyways, like we use prayer a lot in our relationship. So anyways, I'm just using that as an example. So I prayed about Kala to like see like how I felt about him and whatnot, and I like got like excited about it. So I knew that was like a good thing. Like I should see where like it goes with Kala. And so I like didn't tell my mom that or anything yet because I wanted to like talk to Kala first. And it was after a football game. I went to one of your football games, remember?
I just remember we were in the car. I don't remember when it was.
So it was a late football game. I think it ended at like midnight. It must have started at like 6 or 7 p.m. But it was a late football game, and I always drove Colado's car after a football game. And I remember saying like, what if like, and I said that like 7 times.
Like a million times.
Like I said like, what if, I said that phrase a million times. And he was like, get it out already. I was like, what if we got married? Which is so crazy because like we had never talked about marriage. We had never talked about kids, buying a home. You know, just like things like when you're dating someone like that come up like, oh, when we're married one day, or oh, when we have kids. Like we never like talked like that. Ever.
Never.
So this was like crazy of me.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that was kind of crazy. But I guess it needed to happen.
And I guess neither of us like had those deep conversations like, are we each other's soulmates? So I brought it up, and Kala, what did you say?
I don't remember what I said, but I feel like I said, I can see us going that way.
I thought you were like, yeah.
I don't remember.
Guys, are we making this up? Are we like not saying what really happened and what we thought happened? Anyways, I brought it up, crazy. And he was like, yeah, like, I can see it going that way. I think you're right. I think that's what you said. You're like, yeah, I can see it, like, going that way.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be like, yeah, let's get married.
Yeah, no, that's not your personality.
I would more likely be like, yeah, I see that as a potential future for this.
This is crazy. Oh, my gosh. Anyways, so I brought up marriage, and then it didn't go bad. So then I was like, okay, maybe I should stick around, see where this goes. So mission off the table. But yeah, so we just like kept dating. I kept working at the Boys and Girls Club and going to school, and you kept going to school and playing football. And then I feel like once we got like more serious, like knowing that like this was going somewhere, then like we started really hanging around my family and my brothers.
Well, I don't know. We kind of hung out with your family kind of early.
True. I'd always bring him to my sister-in-law and my brother Josh and Emily's house.
Yeah, we go to their house
because they always had
basketball.
food and they had TV.
And so I met them kind of early.
Yeah, when we were just friends. You met them when we were just friends.
And then we double dated with my brother and his wife.
Yeah.
We went to like the Lionhouse or something, right? Or some show or something.
Yeah, with Lionhouse. It's just a place to eat in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, so we kind of were like meeting each other's families, not like, hey,
not like spend Christmases.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, we weren't like spending Christmases like I went home for Christmas, he went home for Christmas.
Yeah, but we had family around, and so we kind of just like naturally started to introduce each other. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that is like our dating. This is part 1. This is like just us and our like how we met and started dating and everything. So in part 2, we'll talk about when we got engaged, wedding planning, the wedding, and yeah.
That all was a whirlwind, very quick, but hopefully I remember it a good amount.
Anyways, our love story is so weird now that we're saying it out loud.
But we hope you enjoy it because we filmed it for you guys.
Anyways, I hope this all makes sense and then we said it okay, because now that I'm thinking about how we said it, I'm like, I hope this all makes sense. It probably doesn't, because it seems a little weird now that we're talking about it. But I'm glad that it happened because he's my soulmate.
Same.
So anyways, there's part 1 of our story for you. So come back and watch part 2. See ya.
See ya.